Well, Christina, you are tracking a lot of red on the radar heading our way. How should people be thinking about this?
Well, so I know we're kind of stuck inside here. There's no windows here in the studio, but I've been watching the Metro cameras. It's just downpouring, very, very heavy, just through downtown proper right now. The good thing with this, though, is that they're friendly storms, we'll call them, because we're not expecting them to become severe. However, you do see all of that lightning. You certainly want to take a break from your activities. If you are outdoors, stay inside until the storm has completely passed, because it will continue to bring a whole lot of lightning and those loud rumbles of thunder, just like what we saw with this morning and early afternoons round that passed on through. Pretty slow moving and certainly kicks up the wind as it passes on through, and you don't want to be caught outside in that. So pretty much seeing this line just moving right over the Ohio River from Carrollton, Bedford also getting poured down on at this point too, and that line stretches over toward Tell City and is approaching you folks in Hardinsburg. And as we take a closer look, you can see that some of that heavier rain is right over Germantown, stretching down to Audubon Park, and then stretching back to the Knobs, Clarksville, New Albany, and the Portland neighborhood. This is going to continue to move about 20 miles per hour off to the east and the southeast, trekking its way through the metro. It'll be around the Butual neighborhood here in just about a minute or two, at least the worst part of it. Middletown shortly thereafter, just before the top of the hour around Okolona, Fern Creek, 702, 706 to Fisherville. So you have a couple of minutes if you are in the southeastern part of the city to go ahead and run indoors and stay indoors until this whole threat has passed. Also, one of the stronger storms that we have going right now is right over the LaGrange area, stretching back to Bedford. You can see all of that lightning that's lighting up our Max HD radar at this point. I do think this is the main line that we're seeing pass on through, and we'll just kind of be dealing with some stragglers into the next several hours and even into the overnight. I'd say after midnight tonight will be our driest part of the night. That's just going to be pretty short-lived, though, because we will have some more pop-up storms early tomorrow morning, probably before the majority of us head off to church. This is about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. It'll just kind of be a little bit of a disruption to your morning plans if you are out and about. However, as we head out into the afternoon, those popcorn storms, as we like to call them, are still going to remain possible. I'd say the majority of Kentuckiana is going to remain dry. It's just going to be one of those really cloudy and dreary sort of days. And also, look at those temperatures. The cold front that's passing through tonight is actually barely going to allow us to reach the lower 80s in many spots. So don't plan on a whole lot of sunshine at all for your Sunday afternoon plans. However, after tomorrow, we're looking okay as we head into our Monday. Lots of sunshine, and that's going to prevail at least until the middle part of the work week. I'll step out of the way so you can see our view here of the Jeffersonville camera that's on top of First Savings Bank. Yeah, you can see all that water down there on the bridge, and then it's even hard to see some of the city skyline. Temperatures outside are hovering right around 80 degrees in the metro. Looks like we're kind of seeing the same sort of deal in all of Kentuckiana. As we take you along into our temperatures Monday, we're going to start to warm right back up, back into the 90s Tuesday and Wednesday, and we have lots of dry time, at least through the middle part of the week, before we become more unsettled as we head into the latter half of the work week.